Hello and welcome back. In this video, we're going to be talking about the physical manifestation of skin and the origin belief of what causes skin issues. Now, this can be skin rashes, discoloration, acne. I'm also going to go into the face, the decoding of the symbology of the face, of what that means based on our internal false beliefs that have been stored within our unconscious. But this truly goes into the work of Dr. Michael Lincoln, Messages from the Body, and how our body is communicating what is buried deeper within our unconscious. Now, this is also following an article that I published and a podcast over at the Odyssey of Self on Substack. I will leave a link below if you would like to go further, as I have dissected this in great detail. The podcast does read directly from the Messages from the Body. This is profoundly deep work. So once you understand the origin, the beliefs, and the formative experiences, and even the behavioral patterns that are all connected to this physical manifestation of skin, you are going to understand yourself more. You're going to be able to heal your body, and you're going to be able to expand your consciousness. Now, let's get into this. We don't wake up one day and decide to hide. It happens slowly through experiences, beliefs, and fears that teach us it's safer to stay small. Throughout our formative years, early childhood experiences, now this goes back into history, this goes back into how our parents felt, our parents acted, and it got passed down the line. When we are able to observe these patterns and understand how these patterns are playing into how we feel about ourselves, how we behave, we will be able to heal ourselves in incredible ways. It's not even about healing, it's about regaining our sense of self. Now, you can think of the skin as our outer layer of how we are connected with the outer world, how we are seen with the outer world. If you want to go into face, that is how we are seen. It is the questioning within ourselves of who am I? How am I wanting to be seen? And a fear of being judged or criticized. Now, we all have a little bit of this within ourselves. The majority of us anyway have these fears within our unconscious. Now, they can show up in ways that may be familiar to us in such a degree where we may not even realize that they're happening. Now, this can hold us back from speaking in public. This can hold us back from being vulnerable. This can hold us back from feeling comfortable in our own skin and our body. This can make us feel uncomfortable being around people because our skin is our outer layer. So again, this can translate into any kind of skin issue or disease or discoloration or acne, as I mentioned. This is our outer layer of part of our identity, part of how we show up, but the fear behind it, what is holding us back from feeling comfortable and radiant in our pure, authentic, and true self. As children, we absorb messages about who we should be to be accepted. Criticism, neglect, or feeling too much leads us to shrink ourselves. We develop survival strategies, perfectionism, people-pleasing, withdrawing, or avoiding visibility. The unconscious beliefs that drive these behaviors can be, if I am seen, I will be judged or rejected. I must be perfect to be accepted. If I show my true self, I will be punished. These all stem from histories of conditioning. This is a societal issue. This is a pattern that many of our families have faced. You can think of how many people in the world are afraid of public speaking or showing their true self or speaking on social media, for example, or speaking in front of people or feeling confident in their own skin or in their voice. Now, this all represents the beliefs of our deeper self, and we have to go through our formative patterns in order to break the patterns and return to our authenticity, return to our true self, and feel comfortable in our own skin. The false beliefs that I just read are important to understand first, as we will be able to understand what is getting in our way, what is the shadow aspect or the unconscious aspect that is blocking and hindering our flow and fluidity and trust and confidence within ourselves. Once we can understand what that shadow aspect is, or the unconscious pattern or behavior, we can begin to reverse it and work on constructing healthier beliefs, affirmations, feelings, and sensations and behaviors in our life. So, the false beliefs that I use as examples, now there are only a couple examples, there are many, many different examples. Again, I urge you to read the article at the Odyssey of Self, as I include a lot more, the podcast, even more. But by knowing the false beliefs, you will be able to constructively work on more meaningful beliefs and more beliefs that are in alignment with greater confidence of who you are and how you can show up in the world. And I'm going to reiterate this. I know I've mentioned it in other videos. Our true beliefs are based on our inherent true self, our inner truth, our inner being, our inner light. Now, unfortunately, when we go through life in our formative years, and yes, we can bring in some of these beliefs from our past life experiences, we can unconsciously absorb some of these beliefs from our family patterns, from our ancestral traumas and lineages. When we have these false beliefs ingrained, they overshadow our true beliefs and they almost feel to be our truth. So it takes a while to understand the difference between our true beliefs and our false beliefs, especially if we've been used to operating under the influence of our false beliefs for the majority of our life. We become very used to them. We become very comfortable with them, even though we might not like them, even though we might want them to not exist. They will be familiar and they will persist until we can shine light on them and see them and recognize them and bring in counter affirmations to inspire meaningful change and to align with our true self. And our true self is connected with our sovereign self, which I just uploaded a video. I will leave a link here. I highly recommend watching that as well. But the more we can connect with our true self, the more empowered we will be, and we will be able to slowly chip away at these false beliefs and return to the connection with our true self, with our higher self. And that will override these false beliefs and skin issues as the physical manifestation, awakening greater levels of consciousness and awareness within ourselves. I've mentioned this in other videos before as well. If we choose to bypass this and move straight towards light and love, we're not seeing these patterns within our unconscious mind and within our belief system. They will always exist. They will show up in different ways, in different forms. They can be overridden to some degree if we work with maybe light work, if we work with healing, or if we work with other modalities, but we will still have these, at least some, if not a lot, if not for some, all of these false beliefs that are ingrained within our unconscious until we are able to see them and make sense of it. We have to have something click within our mind, within our unconscious, in order to open the gateway from the unconscious to the conscious level of awareness. And that allows us to understand more. It allows us to see more within ourselves. This is where self-mastery is at its finest. This is the true ability of self-mastery. When you are able to see and observe and sense within and connect those patterns and understand those patterns within yourself, this is next level. This is next level. It is difficult to do, but when you start to grasp it, you will move through incredible shifts of greater empowerment, greater self-observation, greater sovereignty, and greater levels of consciousness because you are doing it inside of yourself. You're seeing it, you're sensing it, you're connecting the patterns, you're observing, you're learning, you're becoming wiser through the process, etc., etc. So when you understand the false beliefs, when you understand the patterns and understand the formative experiences, you will open up a radical shift within yourself, and you very well could heal your skin issues as well. So the true beliefs are the true affirmations that you can bring in to counter the false beliefs once you have identified them, to release them and let them go, right? So we first have to shine light on the shadow and then bring in the light to strengthen that within ourselves. Now, the punishment aspect, this is historic. This is prevalent. If you could go back into history and think of us as humans being punished for pretty much everything we can think of. There was punishment, there was brutality of all sorts that happened in history for any reason, any kind, ridiculous, big or small, that we are now able to work through and we're able to break the pattern and free ourselves from, right? We're freeing ourselves from hundreds of years, if not more, of these patterns of being afraid of being punished, of being afraid of being brutalized, for being in our true self, being in our authentic self. And when we can work through the patterns of that long ago, we're moving into a very, very, very strong, empowered state of being where we can alter our entire existence moving forward and the entire timeline of humanity as a result. So consider your skin as a messenger. These are the emotional root origins of skin issues. Every rash, breakout, irritation might be a signal of a fear of being seen, a sense of invasion or lack of protection, a belief that it's unsafe to be in your own body. If you feel that it is unsafe to be in your own body, if this is unconscious and it feels that it resonates with you, you can create a true belief and a sensation within your body and techniques to return to a sense of safety within your own body. This means feeling safe within the core of yourself, within your bones, within your heart, within your soul, within other people, within your environment, within your home. You can go through different practices to incorporate safety, knowing that this is a part of self that is struggling, that might be still influenced by false beliefs and unresolved emotions. You can work on strengthening it within yourself by being very diligent and being observant of the imbalances or of the false beliefs that are coming into play when maybe your skin might be breaking out, or even if there's fear or anxiety within your body in certain environments. You can bring this false belief, or you can construct it into a true belief of I am safe. I am safe in my own body. I have sovereignty over my own body. However it resonates with you, you can construct your own true beliefs, but you can cultivate that knowing within yourself, the affirmations, the true beliefs to be your truth. And it's going to override these false beliefs. It's going to start to create changes within your physiology, within your emotional, mental, and energetic self. Some of the key passages from Messages from the Body, as an example, are the feeling or the sensation of sensitivity and feeling misunderstood could come from beliefs of unworthiness, rejection, and hiding. If there is anxiety with the need to prove oneself, there could be beliefs of overcompensation and a lack of peace. If there is resentment and emotional buildup, there could be belief of feeling unsafe, isolated, and emotionally overwhelmed. Now, all of these pertain to the skin in how we maneuver in our outer world, our outer environment, how we show up as maybe even a persona, the reality that we have constructed in our outer world based on what's happening within our inner world. The cost of hiding ourselves can be emotional and mental toil, and leading to anxiety, self-doubt, and identity loss. Life impact, staying in unfulfilled relationships, avoiding opportunities, and not expressing your full potential. Here are some examples for shifting the narrative, so releasing the false beliefs. You can break down the limiting beliefs and then reframe them into truths. So, for example, a false belief could be, my worth is determined by how others perceive me. You can reframe it into, my worth is inherent. It does not depend on validation. So you want to listen to your body's messages. What is your body trying to tell you? What is happening in your life at this moment in time that your body might be trying to send you a signal about? When your body starts to react, it's based on a trigger experience that you're going through. So just be observant, be aware of what's happening in your life. How are you responding from a deeper level? And what could your unconscious be trying to tell you? This is the true paradox. This is the contrast of our life, of experiences, where we get to understand how hiding and how we've been concealing ourselves, hiding ourselves, restricting ourselves can actually empower ourselves. If we see the lesson that is trying to teach us, if we understand the power and potency of this work, and if we can understand the direction that we can put ourselves in based on the experience of concealing, hiding, being in fear, and lessening ourselves. What can we create as a result of that? How can we strengthen that relationship within ourselves to overcome these fears and these limitations, to free ourselves, to become more confident, more fulfilled, and more empowered? And if this resonates with you, you can use this journal prompt for reflection. What belief has kept me hidden? And what would I change if I could let it go? And if you would like to go further with 5 steps for reclaiming your power and overcoming this limitation and understanding the messages from the skin, join me in my next video of the 5 steps of understanding the messages from the body and what your skin is trying to tell you, also overcoming these fears and limitations to reclaim your sovereignty and your sense of personal power. I'm wishing you all the best with your journey and beyond. Don't forget to find me over at the Odyssey of Self as I go into this area of topic in extensive detail. And I look forward to seeing you again very soon. Take care.